David, who are the good people that you're writing about in this play?
They're the people that I grew up with, friends and family from South Boston, which is a working class neighborhood in Boston where I grew up. I love them desperately, and it took me a long time, but I finally have written about them.
Why did it take you so long? Because many people have said to me that this is the most autobiographical play that you've written.
I wouldn't say autobiographical. It's certainly the most personal play that I've written. I think because I respect and love the people so much, I felt like I had to mature both as a person and a writer and have a really clear point of view about what it was that I was writing about. I didn't, you know, those early plays that were really absurdist comedies, and I felt like I couldn't give the people that I grew up with that kind of treatment.
There's this thin line between doing pretty good and being not doing well at all, being unemployed and having no prospects. And you know, in America, that's just happening more and more and more, where the separation between the haves and the have-nots is just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is a play where they come together.
I got a job. I got a bunch of jobs, in fact. And every one of them sucked because what other kind of job could I get? Not much choice there either, I'm
And you
afraid.
lost most of those jobs?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Why?
Usually because I was late.
Well, there's the choice.
Would you stop it?
She chose to be late.
I didn't choose to be late. Shit happened that made me late. Sometimes it was Joyce, sometimes it's he.
You don't have to explain yourself.
One
to him.
time I got my car taken. Why did I lose my car? Because I missed a payment. Why did I miss a payment? Because I had to pay a dentist
We don't need
instead.
the sob
Why did I have to
story.
pay a dentist? No, I have done this 100 times in my head, Mikey. I think you should hear it too. Why did I have to pay a dentist? Because I didn't have insurance and I cracked a tooth. And I ignored it for 6 months until an abscess formed. Why did I crack a tooth?
I don't care.
Because one night I thought I'd save a little money and skip dinner, but I got hungry, so I snacked on a piece of candy brittle instead. And that is all it took. One piece of candy brittle, and I was out of a fucking job again. And that's the way it always is. And if it's not the candy brittle, then it's Joyce's medication, or my phone getting cut off, or Russell Gillis breaking in and stealing my goddamn microwave. And you want to tell me about choices, while you sit up here practically breaking your arm, patting yourself on the back for all you accomplished.
Everything about me is informed by my upbringing in South Boston. And those working class people, all of us, deal with their hardships through humor.
Right.
Almost exclusively. And things are awful, and this is the very Irish part of it,
Right.
no matter how dark things get, there's always room for laughter, because in some ways,
Right.
that's all you got.
Well, she's walking up and down the aisles, slipping things in the pockets. Cans of cranberry sauce, potatoes, cookies, because you kids gotta eat, right? So she comes waddling up to my register, and I'm like, hey, Susie, how are the kids? Oh, they're good. I was just looking for something, but you don't have it, so I'm gonna try someplace else. Then the turkey falls out of the coat. It hits the floor, right between her legs. A turkey, boom! And I swear to God, she didn't miss a beat. She looks up real mad, and she yells, "Don't throw that bird at me!"
Hey, Stevie. Karen Finch is telling everyone you're gay.
Yeah, I heard that.
Doesn't that bother you?
Not really.
Because you're gay?
Because I don't care.
G46.
It is peculiar, though.
G46.
You come in here all the time?
Leave him alone, Jean.
Why? You want me to be nice to the guy that fired you? She's too nice.
No, I'm not. Mikey said I turned mean.
How are you mean? Who cares? Got her invited to that party. That's all that matters.
N41. N41.
So how is coming to bingo peculiar?
Jesus, see what you did? Well, you don't see a lot of young guys in here. Bingo's a funny pastime for a young guy.
But not a young gay guy?
No, you know what I mean.
Not not really.
Well, look around. There's a lot of old ladies.
Speak for yourself.
G58.
He knows what I mean.
G.
No, I would if this place was full of gay guys. Is it?
No,
Then how is it gay?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to earn a little money like everybody else. I don't see how that's gay.
Well, it is, so I don't know what else to tell you.
21.
Stevie, you want a rabbit? I made these rabbits.
Oh,
$5 each.
they're nice.
Want one?
No, thank you.
Don't like rabbits, Davy?
Of course he does. Who doesn't like rabbits?
Gay guys.
Grew up in Southie, so I knew Shanty Irish, and I knew the lace curtain Irish that left the neighborhood, so I've never known a topic better than the topic of good people. I know the character incredibly well. This woman is not dissimilar to my mother and lots of women around my mother. It's obviously a composite of those people.
So you didn't mention that we used to go out.
What? God, no. God, no, I didn't. No.
How come?
I don't know. It's such a blip.
Huh.
It's a couple months.
No, I know.
We were friends for so long before that. I just said that we were friends.
Okay. So she won't get weird about me at all?
No.
Good.
As long as you don't mention it.
Okay.
I just said that we were friends.
So she might get weird if she knew?
No, I don't know. It just, we're in a really good place right now, and I don't want to.
Stir anything up.
Exactly.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Well, we're in a really good place right now.
We are.
Which means at some point you weren't.
Margaret.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
It involves that Dominican receptionist, doesn't it?
Jesus. No.
I'm just busting balls.
Can you tell the story about when your mother came to see Good People and how she left with a bruise and where that came from?
Well, I never write explicitly autobiographically. My sister might disagree, but I don't think I do. So writing Good People was the closest that I got. I was really tapping into people that I literally knew. And I changed names and I, made amalgams, but my mother is very, very present in that play in a way that scared me. Talk about writing your fear. And so she came to see the play and I thought, oh my God, what is she going to make of this? And afterward I said, so how was it? She said, I have a bruise on the side of my body. And I said, why? Well, she went to the play with her best friend, Alice. And through the entire play, Alice kept doing this. That's you! That's you!
It's good you got out, right?
I guess.
Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't, though?
What do you mean?
If you hadn't been going off to UPenn? You think we would have stayed together?
Christ, Margie, let's not do this. She's coming right back.
You haven't wondered, though?
Come on, it was a summer thing. Kids have those. I'm sure you had them after me.
Not really.
Well, that's because you were with Gobi. You jumped in with him right after I left, and that went on, right, for a long time.
Just something I wondered if you hadn't been going off to UPenn in September, if we would have kept going.
You broke up with me.
I know, because you were going away.
You broke up with me.
I know. Remember how pretty I was, though?
I do.
You thought I was so pretty. And that is all it took for me to like you back.
I have to ask you, since you came from that neighborhood, David, and you are now a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, very successful in your own right, is Tate playing you, who got out of the neighborhood and made it and is living a very comfortable New York life now?
I am every character in this play. I've worked incredibly hard to get where I am. At the same time, I've been incredibly lucky, and I embrace my neighborhood. It has defined me as a person, as a man, as a father, certainly as a writer, and it would be foolish of me to feel any kind of ambivalence, which is what his character does. When I got the scholarship, it was in 7th grade. I was 11 years old, and this scholarship that I got through the Boys Club came up only once every 6 years, and so I had to be the exact right age on the exact right year that it came up. And so already there's like a lottery inside a lottery. What I just found out a couple weeks ago when I went up to Southie and met with these women that supported me back in the day at the Boys Club, I did not know that the scholarship was an athletic scholarship. And that it was these women, I was not an athlete, unlike every other kid that grew up in Southie. I was the arty kid that did all this writing and poetry and arts and crafts. And they were the ones that said, we have to submit David for it. I know he's not an athlete, but let's do that. And I only found that out 2 weeks ago, that it was these women that pushed me forward. So again, like, forget the fact that I was the right age for the scholarship. I wasn't even an athlete, but these women pushed me forward anyway. So luck is a huge part of it. That said, if I didn't apply myself and work really hard, nothing would have come of that luck.
You don't want a cheese toss.
Sure I do. What's this one?
That's Humboldt Fog, which is a goat cheese.
Okay. And this one?
Epoisse, which is a French cow's milk. It's very good.
Whoa.
If you want something a little nutty,
You got anything mild?
Here, do this one, Margie.
that's Wensleydale.
She's not gonna remember the names.
How do you know? Just because you can't remember them doesn't mean she can't remember the names?
Look, you know what? Let me give you my talk.
Here we go.
That's creamy drippy. That's smells like ammonia. That's body odor.
This is what he does.
That's close to cheddar, but not as good. That one, moldy basement.
This is how he orders at the cheese shop,
They
too.
think it's funny.
No, they don't.
A wedge moldy basement, please.
They don't think that's funny, Michael.
Yeah, are you crazy? Yeah, they do.
I think they're slightly offended, actually.
Crazy, they love me in there.
I don't think they do. My daughter's more important.
You think mine's not?
Not if your story is true. Because if it is, you're saying you let her suffer needlessly.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Isn't it?
No.
Yes, it is, Margaret, which I could understand if you said, well, I was scared. Or stubborn, or I didn't know how to get out of the situation, or I couldn't be bothered.
Which is all
but
true.
That's not what you said. You said you did it because you're a nice person.
Lucky you. You've made some wise choices, but you're wrong if you think everyone has them. If your father wasn't watching from the kitchen window, it would have been different, which is lucky. That's all I'm saying. I never had anyone watching from a window for me. You got lucky. One hiccup, and it could have been you looking for work instead of me. Maybe I wouldn't have ended up with Gobi. Or maybe I would have finished school. Or maybe this could have been my house. Maybe it could have been. All of this. Maybe it could have been mine.